All right. Hey, Tom here, FlipAnythingUSA. On my blog here, I share how I made my fortune in real estate. Starting at 18, 19 years old, actually, I bought my first building. Millionaire by 28. Wrote a book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. Number one seller on, or top seller on real estate category on Kindle and Amazon. And my channel taken off since then. It's how I made my first million, and it's how I've been continuing to make tens of millions since. And since I started my blog, it's gotten very popular. And I just recently did my first mentorship, where I had people, my email was filling up so much that I couldn't handle them anymore. And I'd get a lot of unnecessary questions, but I started getting people that were really serious, really determined to make money. And so in order to kind of separate them out, I took on a mentorship. And I just finished that mentorship. I already got a guy that's made over $200,000 by his own testimony, and other people that have made. I got another guy that made $25,000 on his first deal, and he credits that just to the book itself. But so we're going to get into that. I'm going to show you some of that, and I'm editing something right now. I'm kind of giving you a sneak peek, but we'll get into that right now. All right, so let me get the chat box going here. I apologize, I'm not perfectly ready here for this, but let's see what we got here. So I don't know if any of you got to come in earlier today and see what I had going, but sorry, let me see here. Here we go. All right, here we go. So can everybody tell me, can you hear me okay? Little problem earlier. But I'm really excited about this. So Ron Douglas is his name. Great guy. The guy's got 9 kids. Just had his 9th kid. I thought he said he had 10, but he has 9 kids now. And but such a great guy and such a great success story already that I'm super excited to share this with you. In fact, I need to probably take more time to do a better job. But I'm going to be showing this guy off and some of the other people that had such success. But what really gets me excited is that he really, he proves it that what I'm showing you can be taught, and I think it gives a lot of you guys hope that because a lot of people don't have the confidence. I know that. I realize this more and more just over the years, and just I had a dad that told me I could do anything, and I actually believed him. And but I know a lot of people, it's not quite that same way. They don't have the same confidence. And a lot of times you just don't know what you don't know. And with me, I was just very fortunate because I was 19 years old. I'd already dropped out of high school, self-employed, trying to start a cabinet shop, got a cabinet shop going. And it was tough. You start a business, it's very tough. You're broke, you're waiting for business, you're trying to get business. You're having to spend money to, just do the various things that you need. In my case, it was buy tools to do work. And just simply spend my time, all my free time, soliciting business to try to get people to hire me to do their cabinets and that sort of thing. But so is there anybody here for the first time? Because I can tell you right now, there's so many people that when I've done some things, I'll do a comparison in some manner or give my reactions to Meet Kevin or Grant Cardone and some of these other guys that profess to have expertise in real estate. And the thing is these guys have talents, but it's not necessarily in investing, and that's where I take issue with these guys, because I don't think that they bring much value to the table. Grant Cardone particularly, every time he has a video, in the end it always leads to invest with me, you can trust me with your money, and he's asking you for something, or other people extrapolate, very little experience. Maybe they've been a realtor, maybe they've been a whatever, various things. They've invested in stock, and now they know the stock market. They bought a piece of real estate, and now they think they can teach people how to invest. And, just extrapolating beyond belief. And, I don't want people to be millionaire voyeurs. Don't be a millionaire voyeur. Be a millionaire, okay? Build your wealth. And don't be duped. Don't be so easily duped, because so many people are just so easily, they're trusting. I had a father that was very trusting and gullible. Super smart guy, but, he didn't quite, he just, I don't know what it is, but some people just don't have a lot of common sense, and it gets in the way of them making money. And, it shouldn't be that way, but it is, it is. So, let's take a look. Let's see, we got something here. A lot of people, in the financial space are rich but are good traders. No, that's the truth. I can tell you, I bought a number of properties from lawyers and people that are, they're extremely articulate and they're very book smart, far better study habits than I've ever had. And but they're not, they lack common sense. In fact, one of the best deals I ever made, I bought from a professor of a big university, and I just played with the interest rate so he could hear the number. He wanted to hear 400,000. I was offering him 320. Well, we lowered the interest rate so low that, he was basically selling it to me for less than the 320 that I offered him. Because of the way he carried a note and that sort of thing. And that's a lot of things. A lot of people don't realize that you can carry a note, and you can, people will carry a note for you if you want to do owner financing. In fact, when you're young, that's kind of the only option you got to get a loan, because, you haven't built your credit yet. Anyway, so let me give you, bear with me just a little bit here, and let me see what I can get going here to show you. This ought to work. And bear with me, but we'll take a peek. Here. Hey, Enrique. Glad you're here. Henry, glad you're here as well. So, folks, if you just got here, I've written a book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. It's taken off quite well. I did my first mentoring class where I mentored, quite a few students, a bunch of people, about 50 people. And what I'm glad is that I've already got superstars right out of the gate. Before even the first month of mentoring went on, I had a guy that had bought, at least two people had bought properties. But this guy here, by the time the class was over, he was on his third property, and I think he's got 7 now. And the class has only been over about 2 weeks. We do like a 1-month crash course where I just kind of really burn it into you. You listen, you can do it all just with the book. You really can, if you got the discipline, but you're going to miss out on some things. There's some things that just come up in the course of conversation and in Q&A that really bring it home. And it's a world of difference, because I've been there. I've bought hundreds of properties, sold hundreds of properties, and, there's a different story with each one. And, but the negotiating and the tricks to finding things, there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't, that you can't really just put on paper. Otherwise, and there's no fluff in this. It's as lean and mean as it can be. And anyways, but I'm happy to report, and I'm about to show you guys here. Let me show you here. This is so cool. Really, really cool. Let's go here to full. Okay, so this is my edit suite here I'm playing with. And anyways, and I'm just playing with this, but here, I'll play a little bit of this. I'm still haven't done with this, but you can tell me, hey, Anne-Marie, glad you're here. So this is Ron Douglas. He was in the mentorship, with Anne-Marie and some of the other folks that are watching right now. And everybody, I hadn't had a complaint, not one complaint. I was really proud of that there was one complaint. Usually you can't please somebody. But everybody said pretty much under-promised, over-delivered, and I like to believe that, because that's what I try to do. But one of the things you got to do is you got to have confidence that you can do it. And you will have confidence, because you're going to see people from all over the country. Because we do a Zoom meeting, we have everybody in class, and I'm answering questions. A lot of people just come in, like Anne-Marie. She came in there. She just absorbed. Ellie, I don't see Ellie in here, but she did the same thing. And Lou and Cyrus and and Danny and a lot of people. I know their faces because I was looking at them for so long. But you got it. listen, you got to make the investment. Spend $10. People get ripped off for hundreds and thousands of dollars on books and courses and seminars, or they buy stuff that's not even worth the paper that it's printed on. This is pretty much my life, how I made my first million and how I continue to make tens of millions since. But this was really, this is the most important stuff right here. And you get it for $10 on Kindle, you get it for $20 on, on Amazon. And if you want to take it a step further, you can take my mentorship. Right now I got a discount at like $5.99, but I'm probably going to bump it up because it's, you'll see the money that's being made. Anyway, so let's watch Ron here just for a little bit, and you can see you get to hear from Ron. I finished the first mentorship class that I ever had. Since opening the book, there was a lot of demand for it, and I've got Ron Douglas here with me, and it's really great. Thanks for being on, Ron, and sharing your experience.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. Was that your first class?
That was the first class I've ever held.
Oh, wow. You did really well. It was really good.
Thanks. So the book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate, I came out with, and it sold very well, and people liked it, and it got a lot of attention to my channel. And Ron, how did you find me anyways?
Well, honestly, I'm a business coach myself, so I can spot a good mentor right away. And I kind of went through the gamut, very similar. A lot of people you mentioned on your channel, I kind of went through already and was like, no. And so I can spot a pretty good mentor, I think, and as soon as I hit your channel, I knew right away. And actually, you're the only one I subscribed to right away. I was like, yep, this is the guy. And so I started watching it. I bought your book. I actually have, we're expecting number 9, my 9th kid.
Wow.
And so I bought a copy of your book for all my older boys. So each one of my boys have a copy of your book, and we brainstorm on that. They live in different states now, and they're actually buying real estate now through that book.
Wow. So you've got quite a range if you got adults down to a newborn, right?
Yeah. My oldest is 24, and my youngest is due in December.
Wow. Congratulations. So, it's funny because now I'm doing kind of a review on my interview, but I can tell you this guy is a great family man. He's going to tell you too. He's been married to the same wife. He's got a range of kids from now 0, about to start to have a new baby, to 25 years old. But I thought it was the greatest compliment in the world to me because he said he bought a book. He bought a set of books, and one book that he'd already bought for himself, had taken the mentorship. He bought a book for every one of his kids, okay? How much better of a testimonial can I get than a guy that loved it so much, and he's making money. He's going to tell you about all the money, and that he actually bought up one of these books for each of his own kids. Nobody would ever steer their kid, right? You wouldn't steer your kid wrong. So I take it as the highest compliment I can get, the fact that he actually bought the book for his kids after taking the course. And now he said, what did he say? He said they're brainstorming together. I mean, what a great family, what a great family thing to do. And I mean, his kids are in other states. And that's the deal. That's actually kind of what happens in our mentorship. In our mentorship, we brainstorm together. In other words, it's okay to share with each other in the class. And when you get in my mentorship, there is an area. It's the members only area, right? You get back in there, you guys can ask questions and share with each other, because the beauty of sharing with people in the class is they're not your competition. Your competition is in the same town. The competition is the people that you know that are near you, and you can make a fortune if you just keep your mouth shut and do the work. Just do the work. And that's what I show you how to do in the book. And that's what I double down on and show you in the mentorship. And like I said, we'll just keep rolling with this. I still got to edit this thing some, but I'm just so excited for Ron and everybody that's in the class, and anybody that can join the class, which you can sign up right now. FlipAnythingUSA.com. The price is going up. You can get it right now for $5.99. Jump in. I'm going to bump it up with each course, but just check it out. Congratulations.
My wife got married when we were young. So.
Wow, well, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. That's really cool.
Thanks.
And the thing is when I made my book, that's kind of what I was doing as well. Didn't work out very well. I was trying to lay the groundwork for my kids to follow, because I got 4 kids, and I got adults ranging from 25 down to twin boys that are 17. And so I'm glad that you like the book, and you know, it's pretty lean, right? Wouldn't you agree, or what do you think?
Yeah, and that's what I like. I mean, I hate reading a chapter or two of a book before we get to the meat, you know.
Yeah, yeah, fluff they call it, I think. And
Fluff, yeah, hate fluff.
so tell me, give me the steps through it. You found
Yep,
me through one of the other gurus I
you-
was picking
YouTube.
on or something.
And I saw his videos and actually other people that you've diagnosed on here. It was the same thing. You know, when I watched your videos, I thought just like you did, and I thought, you know, this is lame. This is not right. And
Yeah, it's
so anyway, when you said it the same way, I was like, okay, this guy, him and I think a lot alike.
but
Yeah, it's like it's same as you. It's like, show me the proof. Where's the? I mean, you've been doing this for how long now? Come on, Grant, show me the proof. Well, yeah, that's one of them. But yeah,
I
oh
know.
yeah, show the proof. You know, I mean,
I think a lot of these guys. And so, if you didn't pick up on that, what he was talking about is that he's looked at everybody that professes to have experience. I've been doing this for 39 years. I've bought property every year for 39 years. I've probably bought 2 to 5 every year for 39 years. That's a lot of property, folks. And you watch what he just said. He was looked at everybody, and you know, he's like, yeah, where's the beef, right? Where's the beef? Everything I talk about, and I've made hundreds of videos. I've been doing this for free for several years, by the way. For those of you who have any apprehensions or think that I'm like a professional seminarian or, you know, I make my money buying and selling real estate. In fact, I barely get time to come in here sometimes because I'm busy. I'm actually writing deals. I just signed a deal for $1 million today. I signed another deal for 580. I got it signed, and I got one more that I'm waiting on. I keep texting. Now, of course, now I got to check my text. But I mean, I live it. I mean, I walk the talk. Oh, good. Oh my God! See right now. Okay, look. It says I sent you the counter about an hour ago. I got to tell them I don't see it. Anyways, I'll let you guys go back to this while I take a look. But listen, this is the real world. I'm an investor all the way. Here's the difference. I've made my fortune investing in real estate. I made, you know, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, on and on. Pretty soon hundreds of thousands, and pretty soon millions of dollars on a single transaction. That's what you get from me, and that's what you got to scrutinize. That's what you got to, you know, Joe, who just texted in here. Yeah, it sounds like another pitch. You're right. This is a pitch, but guess what? It's a credible pitch. You have to ask, where's the beef? Show me the money. Show me what you've done. I walk through tens of millions of dollars in real estate just in my little area that I'm in right here, and show you, and you know, all the time. Anyways, but I'm going to get you guys back on here because I'm going to take a look and see if I got this offer in my email that I'm anticipating. Guys can't call each other out. Like I said, they're playing the same game. So,
yeah.
but man, I was very impressed with you because Ron, he bought the book, and then after he got the book, he was one of the guys that wanted to have the mentorship going. And so when I offered up the mentorship, he and a bunch of people signed up, and we had a really great, serious group. You know, I really liked the group. The Q&A was awesome. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. That was probably my favorite part. You know, the Q&A. You know, because I learned so much in the book, and then, well, actually a lot of it was good. I mean, even when you went through the classes, I still picked up a lot more, and I kept taking notes, and then actually that would open up questions for me in the Q&A. So that's when then you giving us a chance to ask those questions was great. And you know, and some people aren't ready to buy real estate. I was ready. You know, like I've owned over 40 companies, so I'm trying to retire and shut down here, and I'm trying to just put my money in safe places. And so I'm not messing around. You know, I'm out there making offers and doing it, and getting it done. But I didn't want to do it until, you know, I had a pretty good idea how to do it, but I really wanted to hear from somebody that's done it, and just to make sure I didn't make any mistakes. And there was a lot of little things in there that I would have overlooked had I not taken your course.
So you got the book, and then you took the mentorship. So the mentorship, the class, whatever we want to call this thing, it was worth it to you, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I made that back on the first deal. I mean, yeah, that was a drop in the bucket. Yeah.
And because Ron was interesting, because Ron, he was making deals before the last class, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I bought 3 houses before the last class.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how many have you bought now? Have you gotten to 4?
I think we're up to 7 now.
Wow. That's
So,
all.
but I had started buying something after reading your book, and then you made like I said, I don't mess around. I actually right now I own 21.
Wow.
So I started right after I read your book. I didn't want to buy anything until I read the book. And so I read it first. Then I quickly sent it out to my boys. And then I just started buying. And then you made the mentorship available. And I was like, hey, I've learned so much from the book. I've got to be able to learn more from this. So I jumped on that, grabbed that, and I bought 3 more during the mentorship, and I bought 4 more since the mentorship. So yeah, I bought another 7. So.
And so how do you know that you bought right? You're confident you got a deal because
Yeah.
from the cash flow, I assume.
Well, here's how I know I got it right. Because when I go to the bank to get these refis, because I've been doing a lot of owner finance and then I'll do a refi, the bank president asked me to have a meeting with them because they want to know how I'm getting all these deals, how I'm getting such good deals on real estate.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you know what? I mean, it's funny because it's almost like I'm reliving the growth of my own past, and that's kind of the natural progression that happens. When you start making money, your bank is one of the first people to notice, right? And then ultimately you become what they call a high net worth individual. You get a little, and they assign you a banker. And then you get the box seats to football games and different things that they'll throw at you. Because you're special to them. You're important. You make money. They make money. They make money loaning money. That's what they want. They want people that borrow money. They care about that more than savings. I think they want to keep that money loaned out, and the people that borrow it are gold because those are the people that they want the best relationship, and that's why you have banks ultimately you have banks compete with each other. For your business, and it's a beautiful thing, and so it's just really cool the fact that Ron, and if you understood the progression, what he just said, he's gotten all these great deals, and he has got enough money that he's playing with his own money. He got a little bit owner financed, and then he, like he said, he put $10,000 down, paid $60,000, and then put 10 grand in to fix it up. So he's got a total of $70,000 in this deal, and he goes down, he gets it appraised for $150,000. I may be jumping ahead here, but that's what he did. So he went from, he put in, he total of invested 70,000, and he's got an appraisal for 150,000 that the bank is going to loan him up to, probably 80% of that. But he told me ultimately what he borrowed was he borrowed 100,000. He didn't want to borrow it all. He wanted to keep a lot of equity. So now he's going to be sitting there with a property he paid $70,000 for. He's pulled $30,000 out, put it in his pocket. He's got a mortgage now on $100 grand, and a property that's worth $150. So he's put 30 in his pocket, and he's got cash flow. And I'll let him keep talking about the cash flow too, because it's just one property, and he's on his 7th, by the way, since buying the book.
He's like, how are you finding these? He goes, this house is worth 150. How did you get this guy to give it to you for 60? And I just laugh.
And you bought houses and duplexes?
Mostly houses. And I bought 2 duplexes and 1 triplex.
Well, obviously, if it's worth 150 and the bankers, I mean, if you're hitting appraisals of roughly 150 and you bought it for 60, and how many of these are bank borrowed money, and how many are just owner carry?
Well, they're actually 100% both. And so what I've done is I've taken my money and I put it down on an owner carry.
Yeah, I love this part because it wasn't something I expected to hear, but it's beautiful. It's fantastic. He said it was both. I said, how much was owner carried and how much was financed? And he said 100% both, because that's what they both end up happening. It started with owner finance. Check it out.
Mm-hmm. With a guarantee to refi it and get it out of their name in 90 days.
Oh, beautiful. Yep.
And so what I do is I go in and then I use my money to put new windows, new paint, clean up the yard, make the place look good, fix anything, because I'm buying some stuff that's a little bit depressed. And then, and so I put together a team of like painters and roofers and stuff like that. So I just call them, get them out there. For instance, that house that I got for 60, I got it for 60. I think we put 10 in it, so I had 70 in it. and I put 10 down on it. So I put 10 down on a $60,000 purchase. I put 10 into it, and then I quickly refied it. They actually refied that in 36 days, I believe it was, from the time I signed with the owner to the time he got his check.
And when you did the refi, did they hit that number roughly 150, or would they give
Yeah, they
you?
hit 152.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
So you were 70,000 in,
yeah.
and you basically, and what'd you end up pulling out? Just curious.
And so what I did is I went ahead and financed it for 100,000. And so that way it paid off him. It paid off, it gave me my money back and gave me a little bit more to purchase the next one. So that I'm trying to do my best to keep as much money out, get as much as,
Sure.
not get as much out, but get my money out that I put in. You know what I mean?
Well, so even a little plus, it sounds like you got, well, the deal is so what's amazing about Ron, what you've done is that you bought it right. Like I say, as long as there's no bad real estate, there's just bad deals. And also that's one of the things I tell people, don't worry about a short-term payoff. So he promised me. Yeah. So I'll interrupt myself on that one. So if what was really brilliant about what he did is he agreed to pay somebody off in 90 days. And that's what I teach you in my book. Don't be afraid for a short-term payoff. You're going to flip this property. You're going to make a fortune by flipping property, okay? Ultimately, you can get to a point where you own and hold property. I keep about 130,000 square feet. That's going up right now because these deals, and that deal I just got, we're still a little bit apart. I'm still trying to close the gap, but we're not there yet on that one. But what my point is he bought it. He made a profit. So even though he pulled $30,000 out, he's got that to buy. He's got that to reinvest on the next one, plus the cash that he already had that he'd already saved himself, and he's keeping that nest egg working. And that's the beauty of it. Like right now, these properties that I'm buying right now, one for $1 million, one for about 580. The 580 I'm buying with a property that I made 300,000 on, and the one that I'm buying for $1 million. I'm doing it with a property that I made over $400,000 on. And that's what you do. It just compounds. You just keep buying and growing and growing. And unlike a Grant Cardone style or a Kevin Crone deal where you give them their money, and when you give them the money and they invest your money, he can pull his money out. You're not going to be able to pull money out. If you got your money invested with somebody else, and even if you got $100,000, hey, you're not going to be able to pull money based on your shares, okay? So that's the beauty. You want to hold the reins on your own investments. You'll make a fortune. You'll be in control. You'll have the power to make knockout deals. I mean, it's not, Grant Cardone and these guys, they brag about bringing in 6%. You're going to make 6%. That's peanuts. This guy really, if you do the math on it, he put $10,000 down, and he made, and then he put another $10,000 in. So they're just saying $20,000. He made 70 grand. Okay, I mean, that's like making 100% on your money every 10 days for 70 days, right? Or for 30 days, 35 days. That's the kind of money you can make with your money if you are willing to hold the reins and you're willing to do the work and just study. And it's fun. You get a passion for it. Look at this guy. This guy loves it. And that's how I've been my whole life. I was laying awake last night because I was excited about whether the deals were going to be signed this morning, and I had to wait till noon. And it's like waiting for Santa Claus to fill up the sock, right? It's like it really is. It's a lot like waking up for Christmas. It's like waking up. What's under the tree? Am I going to have a signed offer? Are they going to accept that offer I made yesterday? So anyways, look, I got to cut it here pretty soon. I just kind of giving you a sneak peek at what's going on here. I'm working on editing this video right now. But go to FlipAnythingUSA.com and go to my mentorship program. Go sign up for it. $5.99 is nothing, folks. It's peanuts. But if short of that, just get the book. Just get the book. You got to have the book no matter what. You can't get in my class without the book. You got to order the book. This is $20 on paperback and $10 on Kindle. But you got to have the book. This is going to be kind of your foundation. And then, man, you are going to get loaded with information. But you got to be serious about making money. You got to be serious. You got to be willing to, you got to be willing to say, this is something I'm going to do. But when you're hungry and when you want it, you got to want it. You got to want it. I can tell you right now, if you got to want it. If you're, maybe you've got a lifestyle now where you're wealthy. That's like I see guys sitting under the bridge. They don't even care about working, and I'm talking about the bums under the bridge that are around. A lot of these guys can work, but you know what? They're just not incentivized to work. They're just laying around. They're comfortable. You don't be so satisfied with so little, okay? I always raise the bar. And so that I got to jump to reach it. That's what I like about life. I always like, and that's the beauty is you don't need a partner. It's nice to have your kids to share with and incentivize them like Ron's doing. And believe me, my kids have, they've been watching me do this for so many years. I'd pull up to a house and my wife would say, "Why are we stopping?" I go, "Oh, we own this." And she goes, "Oh." That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Great lifestyle. It's the way to go. And I'm telling you, I was 19 years old, okay, bought my first building. And the first time that I assigned a property, made 20 grand when I was probably 21 or 22. I mean, it was the easiest money I'd ever made. I couldn't believe it. And I was lucky to get the information early. I was picking it up. Okay, obviously I would have loved to have this, but this is 39 years of experience. So anyways, take the step, go make some money. Life's short. A lot of people don't plan it. Next thing you know, you're old and, you're going, what happened, right? Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. It goes in a flash anyways. Even when you're having fun like me, it's still, it goes quick. It goes quick. So let's take a look at a couple questions here. And let me see, anybody who's got questions? Who wants to call me a fraud? Who wants to call me a phony? Who wants to me, let's hear it. Believe me, I'm the biggest skeptic there is. And everybody knows. I call out these guys and I say, where's the beef? Where's the proof? If Grant Cardone, if you got 3,200 people investing with you, how come I haven't seen even one testimonial, okay? You think you'd have one out of 3,200. This is one out of about 50 students that I had, and it's the first one. Let's go. He's using, yep. The heck? Yeah, what the heck, charging for a class? Yeah. Why would I charge? All right. Yeah, Chris just joined up. That's great, Chris. I'm glad yeah. You know what, Joshua? So Joshua asked a good question. He said, someone started with $20,000 and worked extremely hard, disciplined, learning everything. How long would it take for them to be a millionaire? I couldn't tell you. But that's one of the best things about being a real estate investor is you don't know. I know you'll make a lot of money. I know if you work hard, you'll blow past $1 million in no time. $1 million isn't very much. Let me tell you, my first million was 30 years ago. Okay. I don't even know what $1 million then would equate to now, but I think it's probably about $3.5 million or $4 million. But believe me, it was fun. And what I'll tell you also is, I was in L.A. I was at the Laugh Stop. It's been a couple of years now, and I think it's not the Laugh Stop, but one of the comedy place in Manhattan Beach, place I frequent. And a comedian gets on there, and he's talking about how great things are and how he got this sitcom and his career is growing. And wife's pregnant, and he said he finally got that $1 million home, that he'd always dreamed of. And then he says, yeah, but he goes, when I dreamed of that $1 million home, I didn't imagine it being a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. Okay, because that's what it is when you get near the beach. You don't get much for your money down there for $1 million. So, but again, look, I would never push anybody to do anything, and I don't care. I really don't care. You don't buy the book, don't take the course. It doesn't matter to me. I would never shove it down somebody's throat or try to guilt them into it. I've heard things about certain gurus putting people up on stage and making them feel foolish and trying to get them to write the check, and then the crowd's jazzed up. And that's kind of what people do is they get you caught up in a lifestyle, right? I don't want to get you caught up into anything but the numbers and the facts. That's why I show you a guy that's just done it, that just took my class. I show you actual deals that I've done, stuff that I do. Over my videos for the last 3 years, I'm showing you the properties that I'm buying, the properties that I'm selling, the profits that I'm realizing. Real investors do 1031s. 1031 is when you make so much money that you want to defer it. It's a thing that you're allowed to do. You have a big profit. If you don't want to pay tax on it, defer the full amount and reinvest it into something else. Almost nobody talks about that because they never made it. The guys that talk the biggest about making profit, then they can show you how to make money. They never talk about 1031s because they don't know. They don't know. They've never made it. They make money. They're salesmen. They're salesmen making money. And the only real estate they usually own is the home that they have, or maybe they buy another property with the money that they make off of you, but it's not investing. I'm talking about millions of dollars made on sales of real estate. That's what I do. Anyways, what else? Oh, travel and learn. This is a system. Are you talking about me, travel and learn? Oh gosh, travel and learn. Just go. You don't know what you're talking about. I hate to tell you this. When you're talking about that, you know what? I'll tell you where you are right. I'll tell you where you are right. No, there's no hotel. There's none of that stuff. Yeah, you know what you should do? Travel and learn. You should watch and learn. Watch, okay? Before you just come out swinging. He said, "Why are you charging so much for the course?" It is in the book. I already said, buy the book. You can do it with just the book. I don't care. You can just watch the videos. I've already done the videos. Just got to watch a lot of videos. Go ahead. I don't care. But I can tell you, Travel and Learn is a good example of Travel and Learn. It's not a webinar. Okay, so you're talking without, watch and learn. Travel and Learn, you should just be travel and listen. Okay, and then you will learn. But the thing is, with making money, I will say this about Travel and Learn. Guess what? He made the comment. He said this looks like stuff that they used to do a long time ago, and it doesn't work anymore. Wrong. That's not true. This is the beauty of real estate. The reasons that deals come up and that you can make a fortune in property: death, divorce. And really, those are a couple of big ones, by the way. People die. Things change. Listen, real estate is used. And I remember I wrote this called Flip Anything, because you can flip anything used. Anything used has the potential to be paid for. Anything that is paid for has the potential to be sold for less than it's worth. Well, that's real estate. It can be cars, it can be different things. But the beauty about real estate is an asset that generally appreciates over time, okay? It can have dips. It can definitely drop. But in the overall, it continues to grow up. It continues to go up. Your population grows. That's why the population grows. It uses up what's there. They need to build more. So you can keep going out into the suburbs and things grow on and on and on. But that's what I'm talking about, is it actually never changes, because death is always going to happen. Divorce is always going to happen. Depression, people, I tell the story about a house that came up for sale when I was on vacation across the street from where I lived, and I pride myself on the guy that knows everything and gets in every deal that can come by me. And I do lose some here and there. And I found out, I saw the for sale sign across the street from my home when I just got back from a 10-day vacation. Well, the worst part about it is I wanted that property, but the sign had come up and it already said sold on it. I go, what? I called the agent. I said, what's going on? And I said, and he told me, he goes, oh, we just sold it. And I go, what was the asking price? He goes, $220. I go, are you kidding? That was like half of what it was worth. And I go, look, I'll give him $250. And he goes, well, no, it's we've already got a deal. And I said, okay. And I hung up, walked straight across the street, apologized that I hadn't met my neighbors yet. And I told the lady, I said, you know what? I heard you just sold this thing, or you might have it sold for $220. I said, I want to tell you right now, I'll give you $250,000 for it. And, if you haven't already signed yet, I'll give you $250. And the lady just looked at me and just started bawling, started crying. And I'm like, and she goes, my husband left me, and I just want to get rid of this place. See, it had nothing to do with, she didn't care that she was leaving $200,000 on the table. It had nothing to do with it. She was done. She wanted to get rid of it. She's done. You know, you can even listen to, if you listen to, you know how they have 1-800 cars for kids and things like that. People donate their cars. Well, now they're saying get rid of that land. Get rid of that old land. Get rid of that land that you're paying taxes on. Listen, they're spending money on that program to ask people to give away their land, because guess what? Some property to some people, if you're at that class, you're at that level, or your life is comfortable and you don't really care, it happens all the time. That people will give their land away or they'll sell it for next to nothing. That's what you can do. That's what you can do. There's tons of opportunity out there. And the point I would like to take from Travel and Learn, I didn't mean to be so harsh on you, Travel and Learn, but you are throwing some punches there before you even know. And I like it. Believe me, I love a skeptic. Don't believe anybody that can take money from me. Don't believe anybody. Okay, you got to do your due diligence. Okay, just like you do your due diligence when you buy a piece of property, you make sure the plumbing's right, you make sure the sewer's right, you make sure that things are as they are. That's what you do. You do your due diligence before you pull the trigger and trust anybody. And you want to do your due diligence? Buy my book for $10, or watch my videos that I've done for the last 3 years, and watch other people too. Okay, and in the event, you know, there's a guy, Jeb Fuller, did a great video review on me, and what I liked was he said, every day you watch Grant Cardone, he asks you for your money. He goes, every day you listen to Tom, you learn something. And that was when I just did everything for free. But then he went on to say how great the book is. But what I want to get at here is, you know, be skeptical with anybody and everybody. Never trust anybody that stands to take a commission from you. That means a real estate agent or anybody else. But you know what? You got to look. You got to open your eyes. You got to look. Don't put blinders on and assume, you know, oh, everything's fake. Everything's fake. Even though 90% of most of the stuff, the sales spiel stuff, is fake. At least in this kind of business, it seems. But anyways, that's all I was going to say. I'll take a couple questions and I'll read a little bit, and then okay, Travel and Learn. You know what? Don't buy the book. It's not your deal. This really isn't. It's not your deal. It's not for you. Not for you at all. Right on. Oh, yeah. Well, hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I got a lot of people that are in my course here. Don't be too hard on Travel and Learn. It's okay. Anyways, hey, Keith. Keith, I want to hear from you on that on whether or not you're going to make a move and take over the shop. That sounds pretty cool, man. I think that would be a great one. Let's see. Okay, Tux is a new name to me. Have you ever covered assignments or wholesale? Any thoughts? Yeah. Tux, I got a fantastic assignment. The way I was introduced to assignments was quite by accident. I found a great deal on a property that was worth about $220,000, and I could get it for, I think, $150,000. There's like $70,000 to be made. And, you know, I didn't have the money, but I had the deal, right? And that's what I tell you. Get between what somebody has and what somebody wants, and you'll make the money in the middle. Get between those two. Well, I found a property that was worth $220,000, and who has money? Well, my old boss. I called my old boss, the guy that I work for, and I said, hey, man, got a great deal, John, come look at it. And he came over and he took it, and he goes, man, Tommy, this is a fantastic deal. He goes, and I said, well, let's buy it. We'll be partners and we'll make some money. And he didn't need me. When John died, he was worth $100 million. And that's like a long time ago. But he said to me, he goes, hey, Tommy, he goes, that sounds great. He goes, but I don't want a partner. And I'm like, what? What do you mean you don't want a partner? These are pearls I'm bringing you. And he said, how about I just give you $20,000 and I'll buy it by myself? And I was like, oh, that's a fantastic idea. And so that was my introduction to assignments. I hadn't even thought about it. And so much of what I know is by doing. And you'll see, I'm not going to finish it tonight, but you'll see when we ultimately see this whole interview of Ron. Basically, to do is to know. That's something he quoted, a friend of his. To do is to know. And another thing I always say is easy to do, hard to undo, right? Easy to do, hard to undo. It means it's important you make the right decisions. You don't pull the trigger on something that you might regret. So always do your due diligence. Make sure that you're doing the right thing, whether it's buying a piece of property or trust me, buying a book. You're risking $10. If you can't risk $10, then you might as well hang it up. But I don't care if you buy the book or not. It's peanuts to me. But what I do like and what I am excited about is I'm excited about people that do want to learn, that do want to make money. Yeah, because nothing makes me feel better than to hear a story like what I just got, what I just shared with you guys. You know, Ron has already made, by his own estimation, well over $200,000, and it attributes to my mentorship and to the book. And I got other people that have other stories, not quite as successful as he is yet, but I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen, you know. And, you know, look, Ron's already got kids in his 20s. He's, you know, you get tired as you get old. But guess what? He's got plenty of energy to make a couple $100,000. So he's doing well. He's really doing well. But, all right, I'm going to take another quick peek in here. And, oh, hey, Keith, you're at the shop? Great, man. Oh, yeah, get that building, man. Make a deal on that thing. That would be awesome. Yep. Hey, Terry Jones, glad you're here. Yeah, well, travel and learn, you're probably never going to know. So, anyways, you got to do the work. Let's see. Lowell, okay. Yep. Lowell, you got a great attitude. You got a great attitude. You're going to be fine. Hey, thanks, Tugs. Hey, be sure to subscribe, man. Be sure to subscribe. I got all kinds of videos you can watch where I've made profits on all kinds of things. Just go look for profit or whatever you want, and you'll find some cool stories. Anyways. All right, guys. Look, I'm gonna run. Thanks so much, everybody that you know is regulars and the new folks. But I'm going to cut it short here, and I appreciate you tuning in. And please share, please subscribe, and like the video if you would. It helps. And I'm trying to get the word out. And you know, I'm happy to share. I want you guys to do what I'm doing. It's just the greatest lifestyle ever. But take care.